What is up, guys? It's Jordan of the Jordan Complex, and it's an awesome day in VR land because today is the release of the highly anticipated Oculus Quest 2. Now, if you frequently follow the VR scene, you've probably seen this thing unboxed a million times, as some of the bigger VR influencers have had this bad boy for about a month already, which good for them. It must be nice. I'm not jealous or anything. I just, had to wait a month longer and pay for mine and
explain to my wife I was buying a new one even though I just got one in June.
Anyway, jokes aside, God has blessed me with an opportunity to unbox and give some of my early impressions on the new headset, which I'm grateful for and hope you guys like the new content. Speaking of liking, drop a like on this video to help my channel grow and subscribe if you haven't already. I am just under 300 subscribers, and if I can hit that, maybe, just maybe, I won't feel so empty inside.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they...
So getting into this, I'm gonna give you guys my impressions while the unboxing and B-roll plays in the background, as again, I'm sure you guys have seen all of this already. But taking it out of the box, I really like the new color scheme. I think it looks great in person, and I can definitely see the elements of how it might look like the Oculus Go, but even with that, I still think it looks really good. Even my wife commented on how pretty it was. She tried to lay claim to it, saying it was too pretty for me, but joke's on her, cause I may not be pretty, but she married me, so now she's stuck. I will say that besides the box being much slimmer, I didn't immediately notice how much smaller the headset was until I sat it next to my OG Quest, and then it became quite apparent. It is lighter as well, which felt pretty decent when putting it on despite the cheaper strap. And speaking of the strap, I'm planning to pick up the deluxe strap and maybe some other accessories, but at first glance, I can tell the current strap is going to be an absolute dirt magnet. And even if I'm careful, I have a feeling this thing is gonna look pretty dingy after a few weeks of use. The new controllers are definitely a sizable change. I never had the Rift CV1, but I can tell the layout of the new controller is very similar to the first generation touch controllers based on the times that I've got to test out the CV1. Though they aren't drastically different, it is going to take a little bit of an adjustment because I'm not necessarily used to the button layout. The menu buttons are slightly moved and I found myself tapping the wrong place multiple times to bring up the menu. But other than that, they were still, for the most part, relatively comfortable. Setup of the Quest 2 was pretty straightforward, and I was greeted with a new home layout in a tropical environment. There's also a new IPD solution, which instead of the IPD lens slider that came on the Quest 1, there is now 3 preset ranges, which while not a perfect solution, should work for most people, and I personally used the third solution, which is the 68mm one. And though I initially noticed a bit of the reduction in the field of view when using the third option, it became almost unnoticeable after a few minutes of being immersed in the headset. After playing around in it for a few minutes, there was a bit of a placebo effect as I was expecting the refresh rate to be much better, and I thought that the screen/tracking felt and looked much smoother. But it wasn't until I played around in the settings that I actually learned you actually have to turn on the 90Hz mode for the home environment and restart the headset. After that, I did see a bit of a change, but I wouldn't say that it was mind-blowing. What I will say was definitely noticeable was the resolution and the reduced screen door effect. I understood going into the new headset that the fill rate of the screen would be better, as coming from the Rift S LCD screen, the individual pixels of the Quest 1 was immediately noticeable to me. And though it didn't really diminish my enjoyment of the headset, it was something that always stood out. But in the Quest 2, the screen door effect is almost completely gone, and the higher resolution looked great in different home environments that I checked out, and apps like Beat Saber, which looked great also with the increased resolution of the CPU performance coming from the HMD's cutting-edge XR2 chipset. Besides playing Quest games, I briefly checked out the Oculus Link capabilities on the Quest 2. I would have tried to play it for longer, but my PC setup is in the garage, and it was a whopping 95 degrees today, so I had no interest in staying out there too long in the heat. That said, I was disappointed because it seemed that I couldn't use my USB-C 2.0 cable that came with the Quest 1 to do Oculus Link with the new HMD. I'm not sure if this was user error on my part or if the Quest 2 doesn't support Link over USB 2.0 like the Quest 1, but I was stuck testing it out on the comically small USB-C cable that came in the box with the Quest 2. Despite the movement restrictions from the short cable, I was able to get Link working after a couple of tries and played about 30 minutes of Star Wars Squadrons. I will say that the image seemed a bit fuzzier than I remember it being on the Rift S, but all in all, I think it was still a perfectly enjoyable experience and plenty immersive, especially with my HOTAS setup. With all of that said, after checking out the headset, I would say it's given me the insight to answer the two questions that are on most of our minds. Is it worth upgrading the Quest 2 from the Quest 1, and is this a good headset to start out with? If you have Quest 1, in my opinion, no, I don't think it's a rush to upgrade your headset right away. If you do upgrade, I don't think you'll be disappointed with it, but I don't think it'll be the groundbreaking boost in performance that you're hoping for. The Quest 2 is a beast, no doubt, but I think it also proved how capable of a piece of hardware the Quest 1 is, and that it's still a great HMD today. If you haven't already gotten a headset and are looking for a good one to start out with, I think the Quest 2 is without a doubt the best bang for your buck headset on the market right now, and the new reigning king of entry-level VR that can even give some of the high-end headsets a run for their money. Of course, that's contingent on your stance on the headset requiring Facebook to log in, but if that's not a deal breaker for you, then I think you should absolutely pick up the Quest 2. So, will you be grabbing a Quest 2? Do you already have one on the way, or maybe you're already content with your headset? Either way, let me know down in the comments. I love talking VR with you guys, and yeah, I'm excited to see if you guys are gonna pick one up too. But yeah, again guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and yeah, I just really want to see the channel grow. We're almost at 300, and I know that you guys can push it over the edge. So have a fantastic rest of your week, guys. God bless you, and God willing, I will see you in the next one. Bye.